Hey everyone, it's been a while. Good seeing you again. I've just been in the process right now of making a new yearly template for my Final Cut projects, and just started doing that a little bit ago and realized I should probably share some of this information with you because I think a lot of you guys might find this useful. So I'm just going to jump right back into it, and you guys are just going to kind of watch me go through this whole process. I'm sorry if this video is extremely long. There's a lot that's happening in this, so yeah, come follow along. All right, so what I've done so far is I've just created my template. I have my first event made. It's titled Wedding Film. This is where, all the main things are going to be happening. In that, I have 7 folders. I have a multicams folder, which is going to have smart collections, and then 6 other folders: bride prep, groom prep, portraits, ceremony, reception, and location. These all have their own subcategories inside them of different keyword collections. So if I open up these folders, you'll see more things pop up. Like in locations, I have ceremony, day before footage, because we do a fair amount of extra footage like throughout the weekend. We have getting ready footage, so that's going to be mostly like the establishing shots of getting ready locations. If I have them, they'll be dragged into that keyword collection. I have reception ones, and I have other specific venue ones. You can see how that's all organized in here. Bride prep has details, dress. So any solo dress shots, her getting in the dress, things like that, I'm going to put them in there. Hair and makeup, hanging out, letters and interviews. If we have a couple that had a letter or we just wanted to sit them down real quick and have interviews, that footage is going to go in there. Same thing for groom prep, just minus, dress. Portraits, we have bridal party, couple portraits, family first look. We include in there. Solos of the bride or solos of the groom are in there. Like their portrait stuff, not like of them getting ready, but like of their portraits. And then something we do a lot of is story sessions. So I've created a keyword collection called story sessions where I'm going to put any of that footage in there under the portraits folder. So you can see it's pretty self-explanatory as far as like what all of this stuff is. And then under multicams, what I'm going to be doing soon is what I've done currently. I've made some smart collections. So I can double click on here and I can actually create parameters. So things, depending on how I've organized my media, will be automatically sorted into these different smart collections. So then I can have all of my audio and specific shots for these moments put in here, and then I can just use that to create my multicams later. So it's already automatically organized because there are some things that don't always, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but some things just don't always get perfectly sorted when I'm doing it manually, oddly enough. Like if I wanted to make something from their story session, if I were to go in here to the story session thing, I'll have all like 100 clips that I get plus the audio, and it's hard to sort through that and find the right things that I'm doing. So if I were to carefully organize it, I could just click here and my specific points, the specific footage and specific audio will go in here. So I will go back into this and I'm going to update it later based off of the parameters that I need. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually continue making more events. So I'm probably going to have maybe another dozen or so events, and that's actually for all of my editing assets, overlays, sound effects, music libraries, things like that. I'm going to be pulling in here so that I have access to that for all of my edits, and I can just find it easily instead of having to go into Finder and look for the right thing, put it in, realize it's the wrong thing, have to do the whole process all over again. I'd rather do it just once at the beginning of the year when I make my template and go. So that's what we're going to do right now. First thing I'm going to do is we're just going to make a music one. That one's easy. So let's just make event name music. And then what I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to import the media. So where I have it all is actually very, very, very interesting. So all of my assets are uploaded onto Google Drive, where they are then set to offline on my computer. So I could be without internet and still access those files. but they are still stored in the cloud. That's essential if you're going to be doing this, especially if you have more than one computer that you might be editing off of. Maybe you have an at-home desktop and then you want to take your film on the road with you, so you have your laptop, but you don't want to necessarily have those files locally sourced on each computer and then having to make sure they're updated. You can keep them updated in the cloud on one computer and it'll translate across both of them. You just set it to offline and you'll be able to access them. So I'm going to go onto Google Drive and I'm going to quickly look for the assets that I have. I go to, I don't need that right now. We're going to go to my editing assets folder. It's going to take a second to load, so I might just cut this real quick until we get there. So we got everything in here now. I'm going to then go to my video music. I have a whole bunch of old music all collected, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my wedding one. And it's essential. I have everything set up in folders. So all the music that I would have probably used from 2020 on earlier, in 2021, 2022, I'm going to import all of these. Seems to be a folder in there that I don't need, but I will remove that later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click this overall folder wedding. I'm going to do leave files in place. That's also essential. Otherwise, your project library is going to become massive as far as file size goes. If you leave it in place, but you have the file set to offline in Google Drive, also same thing works for Dropbox. If you do that, you're not going to be taking up any more space than you have to. So we're going to do that. And then my next thing is I'm going to set an audio roll. I'm going to set all of that to music so that everything is color coded green. And then I'm going to import the selected, and everything is going to be imported into this music event. Next big thing, you can see I can just pull this down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all of these extra keyword collections from other folders that I didn't need. So I'm going to get rid of those. And then I'm going to get rid of this wedding one, actually. This is just redundant compared to everything else here. This is just showing me everything that's already in the other keyword collection. So I'm just going to delete that. And I can see everything here. And that's great. So I can just access all of my music now. This is still locally sourced on Google Drive, but set to offline on my computer. I can pull it in and boom, I have music ready to go. So that's really cool. So I'm going to continue doing the next few things. Feel free to follow along. If you want to listen to some music while I do this, by all means, because there's probably going to be times where I'm just not talking at all. Just so you know. So I'm not going to import right now. I want to create, actually, yeah, do this. We'll do another form, create new event in there. Let's go to the next thing. We're going to go back to my editing assets folder. And let's do sound effects. This is always complicated because of all of the different subfolders in them. These are all assets that I have purchased and have the rights to. So that's also important to know. Before I forget, I'm going to set everything so that the audio roll is set to effects. So every single one of these will have that color coordination. But yeah, so right now I'm analyzing all of my sound effects folders to make sure that they're not going to be causing me problems with having multiple folders in folders such as this. So I have like my environments one has more subfolders that then creates more unnecessary keyword collections. So I'm going to come up with a solution that I've done before, but I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything else. All of these seem to be good. Just a few of them need it. So this is probably going to require me to do a little bit more work by hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a new event first before I import, actually. So let's create that event, and we are going to do the immersion SFX. And we'll import from there. Let's go to immersion. We have ambient environments and interaction environments. We have humans. So all of these have subfolders minus the vehicle. So that's what we have to keep in mind. Household, we have kitchen, bathroom, miscellaneous, doors. We do have another miscellaneous thing for humans. So we have to keep track that the human one is 03 and the household one is 04. Everything else seems to be good. So there's no duplicately named things outside of miscellaneous. So I'm just going to click immersion, and I'll import that and rename once everything's been imported. So processing there. I'm going to go into immersion. So now we do have a lot of these extra things that are just not necessary, especially like this one that just says immersion. So miscellaneous, what was this one? This was household miscellaneous. Vehicle. This one is human miscellaneous. This one is just household. So we'll get rid of that one. I'm going to pull it up real quick. Oh, wrong thing. Let's put all of this in a different window. All right. All right, so let's go into my Finder and look for that stuff again. Google Drive. Go into my editing assets. Sound effects. We're in the immersion one. I have environments, human, household, and vehicle. Okay. Might be able to create folders for all of that too. So let's actually pull this over here. Okay, so I have this in here so I can just access it and look at it better. So we're going to have environments. I'm going to open up all these folders so I can see. Yeah, vehicle has its own thing, so that might be its own folder. Vehicle. And then this keyword collection will go in there. Will go in there. There we go. Done. Next one is going to be environments. Which one was the key? Shift Command N is that? Okay. One environments. And that's going to have ambiances and interactions. And so then we're just going to get rid of the other keyword collections that go to them that we don't need anymore. It looks like I already got rid of interactions, didn't I? Cool. So there's that. Let's do another one. It's going to be 2.human. Could probably do this one as for continuity and consistency. That's going to be important for me. Cool. Human's going to have human miscellaneous. Oh, it has to be open, maybe. There we go. Hands and other. Need hands. Where's hands? There it is. And walking footsteps. Get rid of that. And then environments, yep, household is going to be the next one. So I need to get out of there and into just the immersion. There we go. Doors, bathroom, kitchen, miscellaneous. It's always so finicky when you try and move things in Final Cut. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There. See, doesn't always do it. There. So now we have all that in there. We're going to do a similar thing with the next one. Let's create another event. This one's going to be called Singularity. So then we're going to find that one. And we're going to import them as well. Leave files in place, set to effects for the audio roll, and import into that event. There's one thing that won't work, that's fine. It's not one that I expect I'll be using. So everything is now in the Singularity one, and we're going to create our folders accordingly. So done with the folders not working properly. Ooh, shiz. All right, so let's just start with that. Hits, what's in there? Subtle, heavy, and echo hits. Boom. Get rid of that one because that's everything else. There we go. Risers. Get rid of that one. And we have... All right, risers doesn't need anything. That's just it. Cool. So maybe... we will just pull that in here so that there's something. Then we have our whooshes. Which also just has the audio, so that's easy. I'm just gonna pull this, do that. Next up, let's see, we have our Brahms, that's all that. And is there any other folders of that? No. Bass drops is good, tension is good, drones is good. Those all just need their own folder. Then we have subfolders for our dark atmospheres, apparently. Good to know. So everything else up until dark atmospheres can have its own folder. Or I just don't use folders for those and I can just leave them as that. That would actually make more sense. So the whooshes can go out. Risers can go out. See, this is stuff that I would have done differently last year, and I'm learning now of ways that I can improve it. So that's what we're doing. Y'all are helping me improve this, and you're just kind of sticking along for the ride. Dark atmospheres. We're going to accents and ambience. Boom. So everything's there. We can get rid of that one now. Cool. Singularity is done. What's the next one we're going to do? Let's do the flow. Flow is done by my good friends over at Multiply Media, Boomer and Sarah. They made a really cool pack I was able to acquire, so that was nice. So let's import that next. I don't think there's any folders, extra subfolders in this. Nope, we're all good. So that makes life a lot easier when there are no extra subfolders. So let's go back, let's go to the flow, and we're just going to import that folder right there into it. And as you can see, all those other folders became keyword collections, and I can just get rid of that. And we have everything here. I can access all the effects in once, or I can just go into like glitches and find their specific ones. So I love how that works. That one was easy. Next thing I'm going to do, let's do anticipation. So we're going to create a new event. And this is again, though, where it gets a bit tricky. So you can see we have subfolders in here. So one thing I'm going to try this time that I didn't do in the others is I'm going to highlight all. Nope, not from the Finder. I'm going to do import from that. We're going to go into anticipation. And we're going to open all these. Command all. And we're actually not going to click on the main folders, but just have the subfolders involved. And I'm just holding down Command so I can reselect certain things. There we go. Leave in place, set to effects, import selected. From there, we'll just make the folders. One risers, and we'll put all of these in here. Boom. Two hits. Boom. Three whooshes. That's not how you spell whooshes. There we go. All those. I don't know why this is showing up, this 3 whooshes keyword collection, because it's not actually that. It's meant to be the moments tube, and it will fix itself in just a second after I put this in here. Boom. Look at that. Weird little glitch with Final Cut right now, huh? Let's do that. We're going to go to 4.moments. And then we're just going to add all these. And 5.atmospheres. Oops. What the heck? Okay, for some reason I don't want to go in there. Unless I do it one by one. Oh well. Alright, anticipation, check. New event. It's going to be called archetype. These sound effects came from Lens Distortions. I don't know if you can still get them as a download or just like a one-time purchase. I think they've since switched over to a subscription one, but when I purchased these, it was just a one-time purchase and I didn't need to subscribe to it. So I was able to download them all for one single cost, but not quite sure if that's an option anymore. Okay. Import our archetype one. So let's go back to SFX. Go to archetype. And we're going to do the same exact thing that we just did. I think that worked very well. We're going to hit Command All, and we're just going to keep holding Command. Get rid of the primary folder and just import the subfolders. We have one that's not working. That's fine. That happens occasionally. But the chances that I'm going to use it are slim. So this is how I would have actually had it organized before. I would have just had all of these done like this, and I would just go to each one, but I'm really liking how everything here is organized into the folders, so I'm going to continue to do that. So that's what we're going to do. I wonder what happens if I do that. Can I create a new folder by highlighting that? No, I cannot. Okay. So that's going to be risers. Boom. Boom. Oh, come on now. You want to behave. There we go. Undertones. And there we go. All right. So all of our sound effects are slowly coming in. I have a lot of sound effects. And I think we're down to the last thing. And this one's kind of more of like just a random one. With effects extras. Yeah. Okay, so that one's going to just be a quick and easy import. These are all other like acquired ones that I've gotten from friends, other random sound packs that I've gotten over my life. These are pads that I got from when I used to do a lot of like audio production for worship teams and everything. And I just have pads in different keys, both major and minor, that I can use as like underlaying tracks under the music. Random things that I've downloaded from free sound effects websites. This wedding one is really literally just people cheering and laughing. But yeah, that's it. So we're just going to import the entire set here, just like as is. It's not the most elegant one. The ones in the downloaded folder are literally all misnamed, so I do have to figure out a system for that. But I'll figure it out eventually. Just apparently not for 2023. All right, that is all of my sound effects. Next thing we're going to do and work on is overlays. This is one that I'm definitely not excited about. So let's see. Okay, so these are all plugins. These EC ones from Ezra Cohen, those are all plugins. Good to know. And these are all random people who create like different film overlays. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do new event, film 1. We're going to figure out which ones go into that. Okay, not that. I don't think those are Ezra Cohen ones. I think these are all from the same company. VHS textures. These ones are Ezra Cohen. I believe. Oh, that's a mess. But all these subfolders are all going to have to go in here. Okay. Same one. All right, so those are also it. Yeah. All right, cool. I think I got them figured out. Oops. Gonna go all the way down here. Take out the things I don't need. Actually, I might keep those readmes in case I need to reference them in a future time. But we're going to get rid of the main things there. I want to see how this looks. It's not going to be the most glamorous looking organization. Oh my god, I did the wrong thing, didn't I? Import. I have to do it in here. Wow, guys, catch me on this. Vintage, Super 8, and Super 8. There, we're getting rid of that. Oops. Still there. Getting rid of VHS textures in the main folder there. Getting rid of that main folder. All that. Some of those have sound still attached to them, so we're going to continue to use the effects audio roll on there, leave files in place, import into film 1. Yes, there are some LUTs involved, so I don't need those. Those folders might translate in here, so I'm going to get rid of those. Nope, doesn't look like they transferred in. So that's just what we're going to do. We're going to have these all as is. It's a hodgepodge of things, and I don't really feel like I want to figure all of that out. Let's do another event, film 2, EC, film 2 EC. So if you haven't realized by now, this is a little bit more of a little bit more of the like vintage film look for stuff. I'm going to import VHS textures into that. We'll just call this film to VHS. New event, film 3. EC, we'll try that one now. Okay, so now this one's going to be the Ezra Cohen one, and these ones are not coming in. Those were already plugins that I have imported. Dirty letterboxes is one of them, and then different grains. Okay. This is not easy. I don't know what to do here. I'm going to try something a little bit different with this one. We're just going to do the main ones. Okay. So let's see. What do we got? We have all of these. Cool. I think I'm going to get rid of everything that isn't this main folder and see what I think about it. So we're looking for the dirty letterbox. Anything that isn't dirty letterboxes or something grain. Oh, 16mm for film grains. There. So let's see, we have our 16mm grains, we have textures, viewfinders, grains, overlays, 16mm, 35mm, dirty letterboxes for everything. I'm content with that. Boom. So that's our film overlays, and then I rarely use these, but I still like having them on occasion. These are also from Lens Distortions, classic lights, and they're glass lights kind of thing. Okay, so this one will be easy. New event. Warm lights. And we're going to import. The classic lights. Import. Boom. There we go. And then we're going to do one more event. Nope, not a project. Lights, and then these ones are kind of like the glass light ones, so glass lights, you'll see what I mean. add those. Boom, there we go. Yeah. Cool. That's kind of everything there. So I can get rid of this. Oh, man. And we're gonna kind of reorganize this a little bit better so it's, not as, I don't know, I just don't like how this looks. So we're going to label things. New music. Participation will be 2. Type will be 3. Flow 4. Immersion 5. Singularity 6. SFX extras will be 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. Oops. 12. Already better. Have better organization for it all. We're going to create one more event. It's going to be 13, all caps, assets. This is anything else that I might... Assets is basically anything that I might import into the project in the middle of the edit. So maybe I have other things that the couple has provided me, maybe some old home footage, or maybe there's some other videos or photos from their life that they wanted to send me that I can use in this film. I'm going to import all of that stuff into assets. If I find extra music that isn't currently in my library, which is almost always happening, I will import it into assets. Anything that's basically being added to this project in the middle of the edit is going into there. That's specific to that edit. Like music, because this is a bunch of old libraries. Like, I might be able to find a song that I like or use it for a teaser or something, but it's always nice to have a few things just readily available. But then I can import other music that I might think is better for the film, and I'm going to bring it into assets. So anything, for the current edit for the specific film will go in there. And then wedding film will be 14. We have 14 events. This may or may not grow into 15 or 16. I don't know, but currently this is what I have. Actually, there will be one more. I totally forgot. New event. TC. Tropic Color, I think. TC Film. We'll just name it that for now. Let's import it. Editing assets. Yep, that's going to be fun. Okay, so we don't want titles. Film mats. Yes. HQ stills. Okay, we don't want those, do we? No, we don't. Okay. So we're figuring out what we want here. I'll just expand on the ones that I do want. Nope, don't want titles. Those are the OG files in their zips and bonus. Okay, so we're going to import the bonus folder. Chemical burns. Burns bonus. Flash burns. Burn textures. Oh, and I think we're doing mats. And we're going to import those as well. So I have all of these now as well. So let's name this. I want it to kind of go in line with all the other ones. So we're going to do this one as 11. And we're going to rename everything else. Kind of annoying that I forgot that then, but boom. Everything is there. Okay. Have our wedding film where everything's going to be imported. Now we're going to create project, I guess. So, pre-create all of our projects, ceremonies in 4K. Toasts. There they are. Story session. Dances. First look. Oh, right. Wedding film 2:1 4K. I like to do my films in a 2:1 aspect ratio, so I'm just going to create that myself. 38, right? Yeah, 3840 by 1920 is usually what I do. 3840. Oops. Thirty-eight forty by 1920. That's better. Yes. Boom. All right. Ceremony, dances, first look, story session, toasts. What else do I have under here? We have. That's everything there. Cool. So let's then do. We'll make a surprises one. In case we have a couple that wants to just surprise their other person with something that we weren't accounting for. Teaser. Create 3 teasers. And now we're going to make some verticals. And 1080 by 1920 vertical. Vertical 1. Vertical 2. Ooh. Did that get updated. 709. 709. Huh. Weird. For some reason, this went down to 601 now. I don't know if that happened to anything else, but that's all good. All right, just double checking the information on all of these that they don't have the wrong color space set. That's good. So these will be my starting things. Actually, I'm going to make vertical. I'm going to make a couple more verticals just because this is that's an ever-growing thing in this industry now, is making vertical content. So I'll at least have 4 preset ones, and then also this is just even now, so helps the OCD just a little bit. So that looks good. So let's go into here, ceremony, any keywords, uncheck. So this one is the ceremony one. So we're going to only include things that are in. Ooh. It's hard to tell which ceremony one is what, because I think I have a couple other keyword collections also titled ceremony. Yeah. So before we do that, we're going to do something else. Show emojis and symbols. That's right. We're doing a whole big thing here. Okay. So I think we have all of the emojis made. Yeah, so let's go into our toasts and anything text toast. Texts. Toasts. In case I decide to only say toast and not toasts, it might have a problem with that. So we're gonna account for it. And then include, uncheck all, and we're just gonna go to toasts. Anything from that keyword collection. Story. From there. letters. Any letter. Check all, and we'll do from that one and from that one. Interview. First look. Include any text that says first look. Text does not include FOB. Okay, never mind. Is not FOB? Okay, so that's not going to work. Keywords. Uncheck all must be in this. There. Dances. Anything. Formal. Dances. First dance. Keywords. And we're going to go to formal dances. And now for the final one, ceremony. We're going to remove this one first because we have a lot of text to include. Groom. Bride. FOB. Officiant. Board. Keywords. That one. Cool. What does type mean? Gotcha. Format info. Good to know. Oh, right. I should also include the text. Ceremony. Cool. All right, so we have all of that finally figured out. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my assets and we're going to import them. I'm going to go to my desktop. No. Where is it? All right, we're not going to close. We're just going to let this be regular place. Actually, we'll do copy to library for these. And import all of our logos. And white. All right. So we have all of that. I'm going to highlight these. And we're going to set these up as a reel. Branding. So now they all have their own little drop down called branding. Look at that. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it quits here. I'm going to probably make another video soon about the audio rolls that I'm going to do, because that's a big thing that I have yet to do, where I will be able, so when I make my multicams and I make my edits, I have my audio rolls all set up, color coordinated and everything. So I'm going to do that. And I think I'm also going to show you guys like how I import and organize my footage. So I'll try and make another video on that as well, as far as like just the whole onboarding stage and organizing everything for how I edit in Final Cut. So if that's something that you guys want, please like this video, comment down below. What was your favorite thing? What did you learn from here? If you guys want to see more videos, let me know. Please hit that subscribe button, because that will help me also with the algorithm and just knowing like how many people are interested in all of this. So yeah, do all of those things. I really appreciate you all. Thank you for dealing with me with this really long video, but I hope you learned something, and I hope that there was something of value in this for you and for anyone else who's watching this. But yeah, see you around, guys.